Hi, my name's Rachel. I work at GlaxoSmithKline, which is a pharmaceutical company, and my role is Data Strategy and Design Director for Functional Genomics. The core role of the department that I work in is to discover new targets for medicines. Now, a target is what we should try and get the medicine to work on when we actually develop a medicine. So sometimes that's a gene in the human body, and sometimes it's a protein that gene expresses. Now, genes are the same across all of your body, but which cell they actually work in is really important. So, for example, the gene to tell you to have blue eyes doesn't actually do anything in your fingers, but that gene comes alive, if you like, when it's in your cells in your eyes. So we're looking for genes which actually work in cells of interest. So an asthma gene is something that gets expressed in the lungs but probably won't get expressed in the legs, for example. So we are looking for targets and the specific cells of those targets that they work in so that we can then generate new medicines. My job really excites me. I really like the fact that ultimately I'm helping people. We're looking to discover new medicines or vaccinations which stop diseases, either make people better who have been ill for a really long time or prevent them getting ill at all to start with. The type of analyses that we do on this data is largely things like genome-wide association studies. So that's really looking at regression algorithms to determine if there is a link between the gene and the phenotype. Once we have that genetic link, though, the functional part of functional genomics is looking at, as I said, where that gene is expressed and whether we can generate a hypothesis of a pathway from gene to cell to disease, which can then be tested in the lab. Machine learning is a specific type of data science, and it's where you can use algorithms and computational science to build predictions that you don't necessarily teach the computer yourself. So a really good example of this is Facebook facial recognition. So for a long time, there was the option to tag your photos, and not like now where you just tag the general photo with your friends. You actually clicked on people's faces and you said, this is Rachel, and this is Joe, and this is Fred. And so Facebook kind of got this really good what we call learning set, which is this face belongs to this person. And that happened for several years. What Facebook then went away and did was it gave a computer that data. It said, here's a training set, here's all of these different people, and here's their faces. Learn from it, basically. And what you do is you teach you build some algorithms where the computer looks for features, things like the distance between your eyes, so things that don't change, the length of your nose, and the width of your smile. What the computer then does is it takes those features and it builds features of features. So things like the ratio of the length of your nose to the width of your eyes, the ratio of the width of your mouth to the size of your chin. And what Facebook can now do, if you tick that box, is if someone uploads a photo of you, it can automatically look and learn and see whether that's you. And it will suggest to you, it will give you a prediction, and it will say, I think that based on this photo and based on the data that I have, it's this person. And what you can go in and you can say, no, actually it's not, it's their sister, or it's someone completely different, but by doing that, you're then training the data even more, and it's got a feedback loop. So you either say, yes, it is that person, in which case it goes great, it puts some more weighting to the features that it's already developed, or you say, no, actually you've got it wrong, it's this other person, and then it goes back in, it decreases the weights for those features, and it looks for new features based on the additional information you've just given it. Now, in my area, how we try and do this is looking at cell types and things like tumours to determine if we can programmatically predict if that tumour is cancerous or not, for example. So we might look at lots of different tumour samples and healthy tissue samples, and we have historically given mammograms, for example. So we've got pictures of mammograms, and that gets fed into the computer, and we've told it which ones are healthy and which ones have turned out to be cancerous. fed it loads of data over years and years and years. And now when you go for a mammogram, the computer automatically suggests to the radiographer whether or not it thinks there is something cancerous or not. Now, it's not good enough for a computer just to say it, because it's a prediction. And the thing with any prediction and any data model that you do is your model is only as good as what's been put in. So if you put rubbish data in, you're going to get rubbish predictions out. But at the end of the day, it is still just a prediction. So it's not 100%. It will never be 100% accurate. And ultimately, when it's people's lives, you can't risk based on a computer.